about it. I've noticed that I've noticed that kind of like no midday.
Okay, Bonnie's up.
I have these for like 4 years. Instead of compared my real ones. I used to have ones that are broken with hanging. Like one side is hanging, but the other side isn't. Like it's like this. It's saying this one. Can we move this one over a bit?
Yeah, of course.
No, I can't. Can we sit down?
Like maybe in between.
Yeah.
Is that good? And you guys are good with this?
Yep, yep. We can all see it. Hello, hello.
Shabbat Shalom, one and all. How are we? How are we feeling?
Good.
We had a long week. It's a busy life. There is stress. There is homework. There is weather. There is all of it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Thank God we come here now. The sun has set. Shabbat begins. We're going to take a breath behind those masks. Take a breath. Take a good breath. We're going to leave the week out there. We're going to put the week behind us. And we're going to settle into this space. Song, discussion, a little bit of peace. That sounds good, right?
Yep.
That sounds so good. We have our fabulous youth choir here to help us and to guide us. And we're so thankful for that. And you're all here. We're going to begin, as we always begin, with a little bit of music to help us settle in and sing Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, which is appropriately a song about ending war and together experiencing a time of greater peace. The song can be found on page 645. Please join us. Shabbat as we bring in the light and the warmth embodied by our Shabbat lights. You can find the blessing over our Shabbat lights in your prayer book on pages 120 and 121. To lead us on this special night, it's my pleasure to welcome forward Pam Kenwood.
Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Amen.
We are going to welcome Jordan forward. He is going to be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah in the morning. We're so excited for Jordan and for his wonderful family. He'll lead Kiddush for us, which you can find on page 123. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagacha.
Amen. Chaim? We may be seated, as is our custom, on these Friday nights especially, family service. We take a moment to offer a special blessing for our children, grandchildren, whether they are here with us or not. And as we instituted last month, rather than a rather traditional parents' blessing for boys and girls, which felt, dare I say, very gendered, rigid, maybe not representing the world that we live in right now, we join together, all of us, in the priestly benediction, which are the beautiful words that come to us from the Torah, from the book of Numbers. And so if you'd like to join me in this blessing for our children, the words can be found at the bottom of 603. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha, Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you. May God be gracious unto you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. And together we can say, Amen. Amen. Our service continues as we welcome the Sabbath bride. We sing Lecha Dodi, page 138, joining tonight in verses 1, 8, and 9.
Leharori lekat kala.
Now let's take a moment to wish Shabbat Shalom to those around us. And introduce ourselves to people we don't yet know. We are going to remain standing for Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 264. Seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבביך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We are so mindful of and thankful for the many freedoms that we enjoy in our life, that we have a place as beautiful as this where we can come and celebrate Shabbat in peace, together, as a community. And we are very much mindful of the fact that not everybody in the world has such an opportunity, and there are so many who are not yet fully free, maybe because of the color of their skin, or where they happen to live, or the religion that they belong to. We sing Mi Chamocha and are reminded to continue to work on behalf of the freedom all people. Mi Chamocha can be found on page 270. Please join us. Page, we can join together as we say, give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, Ya'al kol amo Yisrael, Ya'al Yerushalayim.
Israel.
do continue now with our tefillah, which you can find beginning on page 273. Please rise. Seated. A particularly poignant part of our service comes now as we pray for greater peace in our world, an end to bloodshed and war, an end to violence in our world. Many of us are very much aware of the fact that these have been unsettling days for lovers of peace and justice. Our world can feel like a scary place sometimes. Our prayer for peace has us acknowledge the thought, the idea that we humans might find our way to a time of greater togetherness, greater kindness, greater understanding, and that those whose lives have been touched by violence and by pain might also experience a greater level of comfort and well-being in their own homes and lives. As we do sing now, in the name of Shalom, in the name of peace, with Shalom Rav, page 282.
Shalom
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes, strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We do join now in a prayer for healing for those in our lives in need of healing. So many of us enter this sanctuary with a name or even multiple names in our heart, friends, family members who are hurting in some way. Now is the time we pray together in the name of their return to health and strength. As a congregational community on this Shabbat, our prayers are with Ileana Cohn, Rick Ulrich, Lynn Romsberg, Jerry Dreskin, Ann Marsden, Sarah Oken, Gary Garnick, Michael Infanti, Shirley Friedlander, Robert Weiner, Jen Jones, Jocelyn Jackson, Eddie Rosen, Mary Mednitsky, Nick Bowd, Murray Kammerman, Rick Farenow, Todd Pollard, Dr. Jerry Herman, Carrie Basin, Hudson Hodge, Harriet Rosenberg, Ari Sobel, Harvey Savage, Sydney Gross, Michelle Brand, Carol Schaefer, Goldie Schultz, Nelson Simon, Jordan Maverick Steinberg, Harold Luboff, Tricia Tepper, Barbara Cohn, and Mary Parker. If there's a name you'd like to add to this list, someone for whom you offer a Misha Berach, a prayer for healing, please feel free to do so now as my glance meets your own. Join together in our prayer for healing, Misha Berach, which can be found on page 371. For a brief moment for the sake of our own personal prayers and reflections. Thank you to our wonderful youth choir. We love them. So this is where during a family service, some of you know the drill, I come out and we talk for a minute, talk about what's going on in the world, talk about Torah portion. We talk. That's what we do, right? I'm just going to be careful. There's a lot going on here. So usually I start with a joke. So let's do that. You guys, before you get excited, let's hear the joke. And then we'll see. So, you know, a lot of people say that you shouldn't use vegetables to make a pun. But I don't think that's necessarily true. Not so excited now, are you? Ouch. Okay, so let me tell you a little secret, and this relates to our discussion in a second. So once upon a time, when I did these discussions, and I would come out, I would have a plan. I would have a little note card, a little post-it. I would often put it right here, and maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, and I would like glance at it, and it would help to give me direction, and I would know where I was going, and I had a plan. It's good to have a plan, right? We need a plan. We need an outline. We need a plan. So here's what started happening. I put the post-it there, and what do you think happened? What?
People were touching it.
People were touching it. Well, yeah, that sometimes happened too. But what?
It fell off.
It fell off. That happened too. What else?
It would be gone.
It would be gone. Well, what really happened is I ignored it. Because I would see all your faces. This is back in the time when we had faces. And I would have a change of heart, and I would want to talk about something else. And for a long, long time now, and I promise this is relevant. This is not just me talking about me. I come down here with no plan. Zero. I actually go out of my way to empty my head and come and see you and see your faces and think in the moment, what should we talk about? Can you believe that? And the reason that I do that is because I have something that you have too. And it's a Hebrew phrase, and it appears in the Torah portion this week. The Hebrew phrase is chacham lev. Chacham lev. Do you know that phrase? Do you know one of those words? Lev is a heart. Chacham lev, a wise heart. A wise heart. The Torah portion says this week that the Israelites have a wise heart. That's how they knew how to build the first ever synagogue. They didn't have instructions. They didn't have like blueprints. They didn't have like an iPad. They didn't have Amazon. They didn't have, can you even imagine that? This was pre-Google, guys. So, a while ago. So, but what they did have was a wise heart, and inside their heart, they knew what to do. And I think you have that too, right? Inside your heart, you know the difference between right and wrong. Inside your heart, you know how to be kind. Inside your heart, you know how to be generous and friendly. Is that true?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you guys. That's true, right?
Yeah.
And the adults too. They think we have a wise heart. It is in there. It's in there. You have a wise heart, a good heart. So let me tell you about a good heart. Someone else that has a good heart or a wise heart. It's a she. And her name is Queen
Sheep.
Queen Sheep? Who is that?
Queen Olivia.
Queen Elizabeth. Keep guessing. Queen
Esther.
Esther. I knew you guys would get that. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. Queen Esther is someone that we are about to spend a lot of time celebrating, learning about, because today we started a new Hebrew month called the Hebrew month of
Laura.
Adar. Thank you, Yael. Adar. Now I know what some of you are thinking. I know what you're thinking. I thought we just had Adar. Aren't you thinking that? Like, do you have deja vu? Well, here's where it gets tricky. 7 times out of every 19 years, we have 2 Adars. Write that down. It's true. That's true. 7 times out of every 19 years, we have 2 Adars, and that's how we keep the calendar straight, because otherwise the days would get longer, shorter, we'd be off. So we have 2 Adars. When there's 2 Adars, you know the answer to this, which Adar do you celebrate Purim in? The second. 100% right. The second Adar, we call it Adar Bet. Adar Bet. And that started today, and that is the month in which we are going to celebrate Purim, the great holiday of Purim. We are told that during the month of Adar, because of Purim, we're supposed to be joyous. We're supposed to marbeh b'simcha, to increase in joy during the month of Adar. Now let me ask you something. You guys are smart. You have wise hearts. How do you increase joy? Is that like it's not like a light switch that you can, how do you even do that? Yes?
You can make other people happy, which makes you happy and the other person. Or you can like do something fun that you enjoy, or do something with other people, or just get fresh air, really.
Wow. Do you see why I can't script this? You see this? Get fresh air, do something friendly, and the third one was do something for other people. I could not have said that any better. How do we increase in joy in the month of Adar?
You can give someone something,
Like lend it to them?
like a necklace.
You can give them a necklace. I don't have a necklace. Oh, maybe someone will give me a necklace. That's nice. You can give a gift.
And then it'll make you happy back.
And you'll be happy that you gave a gift. That's so nice. That's so nice. How do we increase in joy? So these are some things that I think that would make us happy, but it's a challenge sometimes when you're not feeling super happy. And there's a lot of reasons these days, some of us might say, to not feel super duper happy. The world feels a little scary. There's some things going on in the world that feel a little scary. And so we would say, well, I can't force myself to feel happy, right? We can't do that. We can't do that. But the rabbis say we should try. That we should at least try to find joy, to see joy, to experience joy. We should try. Maybe we're not going to be successful, but we should try. And I think it's not an accident that Purim comes at exactly this time of year. I mean, how many degrees was it outside today? Like 2. 2? 32? 22. 32. All of the above. It was cold, is what we're trying to say. It was cold. It's dark. The world is a tough place. So maybe Purim comes, Adar comes, exactly when we need it the most, and urges us to try to find joy, see joy in ourselves, in our home, in our community, in our world. And that's what we're going to do this month of Adar. I'm not going to say too much about Purim because we have to pace ourselves, right? Questions? Comments? Another joke?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys have a joke? Do you have a joke? You have a joke?
No. Yeah. No.
Well, tell me first then. Okay, that's good. Okay.
What is a whale's favorite snack?
What?
Chips and salsa.
As it is our family's Shabbat, we're going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. If March is your month, for a birthday, for an anniversary, or if you weren't able to be with us last month, you're going to stand up right where you are, and we're going to offer you a very special blessing. Is that Jake? Question or birthday? Birthday. You are doing the right thing, my friend. Stay right there. We're gonna rise if March is your month, for birthday, anniversary, milestone, something, for a special blessing. I know we have March people. As we offer you a special blessing, there must be more March people that are being a little shy. A little shy. There we go. There we go. There we go. Give them a chance. Give them a chance. King Shant. Okay. Well, even if you're seated, we are going to bless you. You can't avoid it. God of days and years, author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our lives. May we have the joy of coming together for many more years, united by mutual reverence and love. Then will our lives be filled with abundance of blessing as we say Shehechianu together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Shehechianu V'Kiyamanu V'Higianu Azman Hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life, sustained us, and helped us reach this special moment in time. Together we say, Amen. Amen. Page 586. Our thoughts do turn now to those who have departed this earth, those whom our loved ones have lost. We think together of those who have been taken recently from us, and those who died at this season in years past. Zichronam livracha, may their memory always be for a blessing. We do recall now those taken from our congregational community in most recent days, including our longtime congregant Shirley Vinitsky, Janice Lightman, mother of Stephen Lightman, and Star E. Berkowitz, husband of Bruce Berkowitz, mother of Michael and Aaron Bittman, Wendy and Harris Cohen, grandmother of Samuel, Jack, Ethan, Luke, and Jared. As well, we recall at this time those whose yahrzeit we mark this Shabbat. Sidney Albin, Jack Alpert, Bernard Arkin, Diane Barrar, Miriam Bittman, Paul Fetterman, Eugene Fetterman, Lillian Goldsmith, Harry Isidore, Jacqueline Lesser, our own beloved Rabbi Richard A. Levine, Susan Otterberg, Ruth Rudolph, Marvin Schlosser, Leonard Shore, Rosie Simbro, Samuel Slaughterhoff, Shirley Trackman, and Bernard Waters. I would ask to rise at this time those with us on this night in the midst of observing Shiva, the first 7-day period of mourning, followed by those with us on this night in the midst of observing Shloshim, the first 30-day period of mourning, followed by those with us on this night who are within the first year of mourning the loss of a loved one, followed by those who tonight are observing the yahrzeit of a loved one. And lastly, if there is someone for whom you say Kaddish, a name that has not yet been recited, and you would care to share that name with us, please feel free to do so now as my glance meets your own. In all their names, in all their memories, and in the memory of the many for whom there is no one to say Kaddish, we rise together and join together in the hallowed words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish found on page 598. Yitzgadal v'yitzgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach v'ruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael, v'hagalah uv'izman kariv v'imru, Yehe shemei Rabbah mivarach le'olam ulamei amayah, Yibarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitmaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei t'kudusha b'richu. Le'elad min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'yalma v'imru. Yehe shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we say, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. My pleasure to welcome forward Diane Singer to share tonight's announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. So I had a salad joke, but I tossed it. Anyway, thank you, Rabbi David, Cantor Sandy, Herb, the youth choir, for leading tonight's service. Thank you, Sarah and Shira, for greeting, and Janice for setting up ONED. A special mazel tov to Jordan and his family for Jordan's upcoming bar mitzvah. And a special thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. I love how full the sanctuary looks. Join us tomorrow morning at 8:45 for Torah Talk and Bagels, followed by our 10 o'clock morning Shabbat service, when Jordan will be called to the Torah in honor of his bar mitzvah. Please join Sisterhood Thursday evening at 7:30 for an evening of Hamantash swapping, social action projects, and socializing. You can RSVP to Karen if you'd like to attend. And of course, the big news this weekend is the dedication of Addict's new congregational Torah. Please join us Sunday morning, March 6th at 9:15 a.m. as we host a special service to dedicate our Torah and place it permanently in its new home, our Ark. Also, the gift shop will be open after the service for your one-stop shopping for Purim and Passover. Tonight's Goneg is in the lobby. Hopefully you'll stay for a few minutes, schmooze, catch up with everybody. It would be great. And lastly, tonight's thought for Shabbat: always end the day with a positive thought. No matter how hard things were, tomorrow's a fresh opportunity to make it better. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
We will join in a closing song with our wonderful youth choir, singing Mitzvah Goreret Mitzvah, which you can find on page 645. Please join us.
Mitzvah Goreret Mitzvah. Woo! Amen, 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 amen. Oh, oh, mitzvah, no, mitzvah. Yana, no, mitzvah. Yana, no,
together in the motzi before making our way into our oneg. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom, friends.
Shabbat shalom.